This is our pitch for
our music video by Sunday Girl Heaven.
So our artist that we're using is called Sunday Girl. She's an unsigned artist and we found her on SoundCloud.
Yeah, we already had an idea of what we wanted in our music video and she just sort of fitted the bill with her look and everything. We did research on target audience and we found her target audience was 14 to early 20-ish, I'd say, and on the pictures we found of her target audience, it showed they had like a good understanding and love of what's it called, composition in pictures. Like they appreciated that stuff, and we have a lot of images like that in our music.
We looked through all of her songs, and the one we liked best was one called Heaven, because within the lyrics it talked about boys and girls and like a love scenario. And with our target audience that we'll discuss in a minute, it would relate to it because it's about heartbreak, which can relate to a teenage audience. So we thought the song Heaven would be good as well. Yeah, so our concept it's a contemporary music video, and it's going to be quite a metaphorical and suggestive video. So
the audience make up their own mind about what actually happens. It's going to be no clear storyline. You have to kind of make it up yourself, work out what's going on.
Yeah, so it's not going to be realistic. Everything's going to be a lot more hyper real. It's an exaggerated love scenario, and it's also not necessarily going to progress. We will have flashbacks into the past, but it's set in present day most of the time. The music video,
Yeah, so our music video is about a girl who's been mistreated by, well, we're using the metaphor of men in ours because we feel music videos really is more of a, especially if she's a girl artist, it's going to have more of a girl background because they'll understand, because boys have that whole macho thing about when they broke up with girlfriends, whereas girls are proven to be more emotional about it. So our target audience is mainly females, so we've done metaphor, for example, we use rabbit heads, which we'll explain in a minute, but they're going to be an example of all the men in her life. So the real story is about abuse, neglect and all of that stuff that can happen in a relationship if it goes wrong. So all the boys are going to be like a metaphor for that.
Also, they're going to be in rabbit heads because it's being symbolic of all men being the same. It's showing so many different relationships this girl has had, and it's going to be showing about 9 different relationships, but usually a girl won't probably be in 9 relationships in the space of a few years, but as it's a hyper-real music video, we're exaggerating the relationships, so therefore we're exaggerating the number of relationships that she's been in to communicate to our target audience what it's like to be in relationships, and they can understand the different types that she's had.
And teenagers are seen as being promiscuous by labels given by audience, so it kind of fits in with that as well.
Yeah.
That stereotype.
Also with the flashbacks, it's going to show relationships, different forms, so some will be abusive ones, some will be where she witnesses her boyfriend cheating on her. Another one will be when they just leave.
One's going to be a controlling one.
Yeah,
controlling one too. Let her do anything. But they're going to, again, as we said before, you're not going to see it straight away, you have to look into it. So it's not going to be in your face that it's abuse, it's going to be very subtly done. Because as well we have to cater to our younger audience, and they don't really want to see that abuse in front of their eyes sort of thing. So it's going to be very subtle.
Also, the genre of our music video is indie pop. This is because it's got the pop subgenre to it because of the bright colours we'll be using, and the music itself. It's got instruments such as
the instruments are kind of more indie, but it's how they've been used together sort of thing. So there's no electronic or anything in it, but it's hard to explain. It's how it's all like it doesn't really sound like a stereotypical indie or pop song. Like it's kind of a mix of both. Because as well as the lyrics, like in pop songs, they're repeated a lot, and really there's only one set of lyrics in this whole thing. It's just repeated.
Yeah. Also with the music as well, there's some parts there's like a twinkly sound which can be symbolic of a pop video, but it's quite like a magical sort of thing, which is what happens a lot of the time in pop videos. Also, yeah, so like what India said, it's like the drums. There's a lot of drums in it, which will reinforce an indie genre. And indie sort of things happen within it as well. So we've got the animalistic vibe going on, which I've seen in quite a few indie sort of videos.
And even Florence and the Machine, where she uses not necessarily the animal, but like the mask to cover the man's faces.
And also the Coldplay, is it Coldplay?
Oh, Paradise.
Was it Paradise? When they're wearing, in Coldplay Paradise, they've got wearing elephant masks as well. And they're dressed as elephants, which is, that's also sort of an indie genre, and therefore they're using an animalistic vibe too. So we've gained inspiration from them sort of indie music videos and used it within our own.
And we're kind of using the rabbit heads as well to show like animal, like predator sort of thing.
And also it's indie as well because of the locations are very natural. With indie videos it's very stripped back and it's not too exotic in terms of its locations. So we're using, we'll talk about the locations in a minute, but it's quite a lot more natural ones too.
Like it's more about the actual location than the props within it. Like the location says a lot in ours as well, which we'll go into that.
Also we've got not just the rabbit heads, we've also got two girls within the music video which are going to be symbolic of our main girl's presence. And these two girls will be presented as their conscience and they'll be wearing the same dresses, and we've casted two people that look similar too, to reinforce that they're just her memory. They'll also be evenly placed on either side of her too, as we're taking inspiration from like videos like Florence and the Machine and the XX, where it's very symmetrical. So we're going to be using that quite a lot within it too. Also the girls are going to have not rabbit heads on, but they're going to have like we're going to get them wearing more
headband ears that they did in Topshop. We found a couple of them, so they're still going to have that animalistic theme, but it's not going to be like as much as a mask, so to say. It's just going to be like, again, subtle.
Just to reinforce the contemporary theme again, but through every character.
And show as well like they're not human sort of thing, like they're not all there, because with the headpieces, like you don't really see the headband, that will be covered by the hair, so you just see ears. So again, that reinforces like they're not human to the audience.
And yes, and also we're going to be using voyeurism as well within it. So we're going to have there be a shot where the main character is laying on the floor, and then around will be pictures, and within the pictures are going to be the rabbit heads. So that's voyeurism itself. And also we're going to have a TV where shots are going to be filmed from here, and then you've got a telly, and then on the telly a film is being played on that too. So that's two examples of how we're using voyeurism within ours too. Should we move on to which one's next? What happens? Yeah. Okay. It starts off very quick at the beginning. It's a 10-minute intro at the beginning, 10-second intro, sorry, at the beginning, where we're going to use continuous flash of video, but it's going to be very quick, and it's going to link into the beat of the song, which is quite quick too. And them 10 seconds is going to introduce quite a few of our locations already, and then within the first 30 seconds we're going to show all of the different locations, all of the characters, so the audience is instantly familiar with what the music video is going to be about.
And all of that. And then, from there that's probably the most, bit you'd follow, because from there then it's just going to be all conceptual really. Like it's going to start off, our main shot is the first shot we're going to have. It's going to be at the castle, so like I can talk about in a minute, but we're going to have all the rabbit heads like lined up, or like just loads of different positions, like artistically done again, and then we're going to have the two consciences and the main girl, who we've cast Paige as, in the centre. But in the first shot, the rabbits are going to be like ahead of her for levels and what's that for? Like status, like have a high status over her, like they control her for now because she still hasn't like let it go what they've done. And then at the end, we're going to have a contradicting shot where Paige and her consciences are above them, and they're going to be like on the floor below to show like she's conquered it, like she's finally letting go. And then through the scenes, it's going to be, well, the first part of it is mainly it's going to be at the first of all it's at the beach, isn't it? And then it goes back to the castle, where throughout it's going to be like flashbacks of her previous relationships. And then in between that, artistically done with, it's not going to be like a massive dance thing, but because we've, like the two girls we've hired for the consciences, they both have a history of dance. So, and because we don't want it to be like a massive dance thing, it's going to be like really subtle dance moves, like the hand videos, like with the fire and everything. And it's just again, it's just going to be subtle. And then through that, and like obviously the lip syncing scenes, which if we were like actually music producers, you'd have to have for our audience to promote her and show her image off. We're going to have a lot of close-ups of Paige's face, and yeah, really it's just going to be like flashbacks, and then like there's never going to be a scene for long where you don't see either the consciences or the men to like show, and then you kind of get to understand her story and where she come from, where our audience is going to relate to her, so the heartbreak and everything, and like thinking you found your true love and then like he just goes or does something.
Yeah, so going on what India said as well with the flashbacks, as we get to the middle, we start introducing more of our flashbacks. So the first one, which is about a minute and a half into the song, shows our main character Paige, and she'll be on